Liorcifer. I'm actually currently about to open my new studio called Infernum in New York City in the Lower East Side, tattooing for a couple months, going on 18 years. Or anything that scares anybody, any demonic, macabre, as fucked up as it gets, pretty much is right up my alley. Ideal client, I think, is really somebody that understands the tattoos. Is pretty much you come in with a concept, whether it's like physical drawing or anything it may be, or whether it's a really wild dream or wild idea you might have. Trusting the artist to understand that he can make this idea or concept or very specific artwork and be kind of like leave you the little bit of leeway and a little bit of kind of like trust your knowledge that you can make this thing a beautiful tattoo, meaning it'll adorn your body, it'll fit the area and everything, just like you got a tailor to tailor you a suit just for you, and you want your curves enhanced or whatnot. Ideal client understands all this, and again, they understand it's from the roughest idea that they had a dream about, or from like a gear painting or whatever. They trust you enough to go with it, and you know, money is no issue, this is no issue. It might take a day, might be a one-shot deal, might be a 10-shot deal. It's like buying a bike, I guess, you know, when you come in open enough to understand that, you know, do you want the top of the line or do you want us to scratch you off type of deal. So for me, the artist that inspired me the most back in the day was Paul Booth. Went a long way, met him years ago, and I've actually made it in about 2000, about like 6 years into my career, made it to actually chase him around the world and became his first apprentice ever. Stayed about 7 years with him, but yeah, that's definitely, when it comes down to an artist, that's definitely the guy. 5 years ago, this would have been a lot easier. One artist that should get more attention is really hard to pinpoint right now. To be honest with you, that whole Eastern Bloc, the whole opening thing that came now, the uber realism stuff, has a few gems in it. There's Dan Yakovlev from Russia, Dmitry, I can't know how you spell his last name. There's a few of them. They get their attention. There's a handful of them. I've been traveling enough to meet a handful of people that actually been doing that also 10 years ago, just nobody heard about them, and that's why it's kind of hard to really pinpoint one, because you know what, with that new wave, we probably have about at least 20 of those guys right now that should get more attention for sure. You want to be a tattoo artist, understand respect the people that came before you and analyze why exactly they do what they do. The worst tattoo artists in the world can still teach you a lot, and even what not to do. There's really kind of like a list of things that seems to be crumbling a little bit nowadays because, again, of how available everything is. The right artists understand that. They always listen, just like as well as we do till this very day, to anyone that came before us or after us. If I look up to your work, I'll listen to just anything you say. And really, again, pay attention. Just because your homeboy's saying that you're the biggest shit in the world, well, we all had that when we were drunk when we were 13. Check it out. It's not gonna work that way, you know. And don't forget that your clients, you owe them all. You're not doing them a favor, they're doing you a favor, because you wouldn't be them without them. I think the really positive thing nowadays with tattooing is really, because it's so available, because again, some countries have broken off from like rules and years of like suppression. I mean, I grew up in Israel. I know the drill. I grew up to like really, you know, it was really hard to get one thing or another, where nowadays you go online, order it from China, no problem. The beauty of this, the good thing of this, it is bringing us and brought us a lot broader artists, basically, that comes from like different places, from like art school and stuff like this. Don't look down at like a medium of tattooing as a lesser medium to work in. And you can see people like, you know, like Sean Barber, and people are like very well and accomplished like painters that can actually pick it up in a medium, enjoy it, and what they bring to the industry and what they bring and keep pushing the envelope and keep pushing us to where we are is really, you know, beyond belief. That's educating in public has always been important with tattoos, you know. Tattoos is still, and that's what I think a lot of people don't really understand yet. It opened up a lot in the last, I personally see it as the renaissance of tattoos for a good 5 year now, easy 5 year span. I think that people has always needed to be educated again because they're not quite understanding of what tattoos are. Just because there is a laser or some other stuff, it doesn't mean that you can just take it off tomorrow. And a lot of the rites of passage of a tattooing are kind of being, you know, like go on the back burner. So we always did that, you know, me and guys that came 50 years before me were still, you know, got to the point of being like, you know what, it's not for everybody, and that's the beauty of it. Educating the public is because we got it in their face, it's in the mainstream, it's okay, we're not sailors and prostitutes, but at the same time, just because you're on TV or just because your tattoo costs a specific way or whatever it may be with all the bells and whistles, public still need to be educated of A, who started this shit, because public, the proper respect is due where it's due to the people who brought it along, and understand again that even though they know a little more now because they could sit at home and watch some show or watch something on YouTube and have a little more understanding, they still need to be educated and understand that Joe Schmo might have an article about him in a magazine and his fresh Photoshop pictures might look amazing and it does good to everybody else, but they need to still be educated from people and going like, look at my tattoo after 20 years, this is what I'm talking about. This is really, tattooing for me is my life. Again, this is really, I feel the most at home in convention with my friends from all over the place. This has really been my family, my friends, and given me so much. And like everything in life, that the common sense, at least on my end, is if it's giving you so much, you should know how to give back, because paying your dues is just about anything in life. It never hurts anybody, at least when you sit back and do get or succeed or whatnot, at least you know you've done it the right way, and you know it's nice to give back.